Hey peeps, welcome to my June sewn lookbook. It's coming to you a little bit late in July as I had a slight disaster and my machine broke for about a week. So I was without it for that long, having it fixed in the shop. I did try and be productive while it was away though, and I got a whole bunch of the bags that I make cut out and prepped, in fact about 30. None of them have been completed, but they are ready to go, so I should be doing some of those this month, fingers crossed. I did get loads of stuff done though. I got 2 dresses made for my mum and 2 skirts, which I will insert photos here. So there was the red palazzo print that I showed you. There was the crane print that I showed you the month before. We found some really pretty tulip fabric in the local shop whilst we were in there recently, so she wanted a skirt out of that. And then there was also the turquoise feather palazzo print as well, which I did make last month, but I didn't have any photos to show you, so fingers crossed they've all been inserted here. She took them all on a holiday, got lots of compliments on them, very much enjoyed wearing them, so that's great, and I was really pleased to get those done. And if you were wondering if you can sew 2 dresses in a day, turns out you can. We went for Le Carla patterns, and I will put a picture of the line drawing in here because I can't remember it off the top of my head. I was going to try the vintage style one with the pleated bust detail, and I made it up, and there was, whilst it looked amazing, there was no shaping in the bust detail, so it was kind of like these 2 flat panels that had no darts or anything in them, and they looked great, but they just sat on top of you. And it was the same, I made one for me, a muslin for me, a muslin for mum, and they didn't work. So I haven't made any of the honey dresses or the honey dresses that I said I was going to make, but I have used that fabric in different ways, so I will show you in a minute. I was also going to do the Sewaholic Canby dress, and I managed to do the full bust adjustment on that, and which I really liked, and it ended up spreading the fullness over 3 darts, which worked really well and really pretty shape. I just didn't like the neckline on me. It was a very high sweetheart neckline, and it's not high at all, it's just that because I'm so used to my Grace dress, which is very low cut, I just didn't like it. But I have got some plans for it that I'm going to tweak it a bit more, and fingers crossed I will get something out of it that I do want to make up into dresses, but I just thought I'm not going to wear them. So instead of doing that, which was planned for this fabric, I broke out the trusty Vogue V8 947. And this is the Michael Miller Meadow Path fabric that I showed you and that I do have in stock in the shop, and I am really happy with how this came out. I really like how the bodice came out. I'm especially pleased with this princess theme. This one was slightly less successful, but as I say, I had very little fabric to play with. And again, I haven't pattern matched the back, but I have used a strategic piece of fabric so that the pattern matching doesn't really notice. I'm really pleased with how this came out. I've done the same thing that I always do. I French seamed everything, lined the bodice, and I've used bias binding on the hem, and I've machine hemmed this one, and it gives it a little extra stiffness, which helps the skirt splay out. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this one. It's very comfortable to wear, very summery. Had lots of compliments on it already, and I haven't even worn it yet at the shop. Lots of people have just been watching me sew it and have liked it, so yeah. Very pleased with this one. I have lots more to show you, so bear with me a second and I shall get changed. This is my second make, and it's another Vogue V8 947 bodice. So I'm really happy with how this one's turned out. I love this. I've worn this a couple of times already. It's going to be a great summer dress, and it's lovely because you can pair it with so many different colours. There's the red, the pink, the blue, the green, obviously white. So I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I love this dress. I've worn it a couple of times. It will be going up on display in the shop, so fingers crossed some other people will love it as well. But yeah, very pleased with this one. So I have more to show you. I'll be right back. So I don't think I showed you this fabric in my June fabric haul. I think it was in my May fabric haul, and I was planning on doing a Barbarella dress, which is a very plain bodice with a solid yellow waistband and then binding everything with this yellow polka dot bias binding. Realised that to have the fullness in the skirt that I wanted, I didn't have enough fabric to do that, so I have done a grey dress with a gathered skirt trimmed with bias binding. I'll just give you a twirl. So I have put piping in the waistband and around the neckline, and then I've also used that same piping to hem the skirt. There we go. And I really like how this has turned out. I did have enough piping left that I was planning on doing each side of the strap, but I'm really glad I didn't. I think the little bits that I've put in have really worked. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how this has come out. There's this one. Now I have 2 more planned makes to show you, and then 2 more tried and trues that I managed to get finished, and then my UFOs. So this is the Michael Miller Bed of Roses fabric in Sapphire. Lots of people have commented that it actually looks a lot more like peonies than it does roses, especially with the leaves, and I agree, but Michael Miller in his wisdom has decided it's Bed of Roses, so who am I to argue? It's a grey dress, as you can probably tell. So yeah, let me give you a twirl. Squeaky floor. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, you've seen this dress in every iteration. So I've got one more of my new makes to show you, and this is actually a new pattern. So bear with me, I'll be right back. So last up, I've got the McCall 6966, which everybody has made, and I am probably the last one on the bandwagon, but it is an amazing dress. It still needs a few more buttons added to it because I, for some reason, decided to space my buttons very closely together. I got the dress finished and then procrastinated for about 10 days on the button placement, the buttonhole placement, all of that. Read everything I could possibly find. I've done my buttons buttonholes horizontally rather than vertically because I read that that's slightly better, and also then the placement of the buttons around this area so you don't get gapiosis, as I think somebody called it. I read a really good blog post about that. I'll link that in the description bar down below. I also use the grain line method of burrito method for putting the yoke in, and then I put the collar stand in a slightly different way. I believe again it's a grain, I think it might be a grain line, but again I'll link that down below. All really useful posts when making what are shirts but will apply to shirt dresses as well. Let me give you a twirl. Like I said, I'm missing some buttons. Now there is one very obvious problem with this dress, and that's its very gapey back. Actually not looking too bad there, but yeah, I'm not loving that piece. And everybody that I have read who's made this dress up has said the same thing, that the back bit is very gapey and that they've taken a lot of the gathers out and all the rest of it. I, for some reason, decided not to make a muslin of this. I think because you had to get to the final stages before you could you'd have to do a lot of stuff before you could check fit. So I decided to measure everything very carefully. It was all coming out at measurements that I was happy with, so kind of powered ahead. I'm probably going to unpick the waistband at the back and just bring a little bit more of the fabric down so that it's not quite so gapey, quite so baggy there. And then I do have a shirt pattern myself which has got a pleat in the back, so I'm going to see if I can substitute that piece in the next time I make this, because I will be making this again. I love this dress, it's awesome. And I really like the fabric too. I lengthened the bodice by 1 inch, I lengthened the skirt by 2 inches, and then I didn't hem it the way that they suggested either. I did a very kind of like narrow hem on it because I wanted to keep the border print intact, and yeah, so this has even got salvages in it as well that you can see every now and again in the hem, the little Michael Miller bit, but that was the only way I was going to get the length that I wanted and the print placement that I wanted, and I'm happy with that. I did have to draft myself another placket because the fabric wasn't long enough, so I've got a little tiny little square there that I added in, so I cut the top bit and the bottom bit separately and then added in a square the same width as the waistband. And as you can probably see now as well, I've placed my buttons a little bit wrong, so I need to move those over so that the plackets are sitting a little bit better. But other than that, I am really happy with this dress. I don't really have a lot more to say about this. There will be more of these in my future. I love this pattern. I loved putting it together. Yeah, that's about it to say for that one. So that's that. I did do one new pattern this month, well last month, so I'm pleased with that. Out of the 3 that I said I was going to attempt, one ain't bad. Yeah. Anyway, I now have the 2 TNTs that I said that I was going to do, and I have finished them, so I shall show you those next. 2 secs. So here we have another Grace dress. It's the Robert Kaufman Sailor Foxes fabric that I particularly liked, and I've gone for a red waistband and red straps for this one because the print is directional and I didn't want to break it up too much. All that, I love this dress. I think it's awesome. Let me give you a twirl. I finished this dress last week, and I spent Friday on the train up to London because I went up there to help my friend move, hemming it. So I looked like a crazy person on the train. So yeah, very happy with this dress. I shall be wearing this a lot. I've got one last tried and true to show you. We'll be right back. So the last of my new dresses from this month is this by Hand London Anna bodice and a gathered skirt with a waistband, and it's in the Alexander Henry Sea Sirens fabric in the kind of grey colourway, and I love it. I'm very happy with this. Let me give you a twirl. This skirt isn't as full as the Mirage skirt from last month because it's only got 3 panels rather than 4, but that was all the fabric that I had available, so yeah, that's just how that one came out. I ended up putting this blonde mermaid in the middle, and I think it's worked out quite well. And then on the back, I didn't pattern match, but I did try and get a full mermaid on each panel. So I think that's worked out quite well as well. And I really like the black waistband. And again, I've worn this a couple of times and had a few compliments on it already. So yeah, it's another one that I'm very happy to have in my wardrobe and out of my stash. So the last things that I've got to show you are my UFOs. And the first thing was my friend's bag. That's been done, fixed. She's got that back. The next is 2 secs. So the next UFO was my Bridesmaid Dress, and as I mentioned, I had hemmed it really quickly and not quite allowed it to settle properly, so I took the bias binding off and redid that, so it's now hemmed correctly. Yeah, you can't really tell, but it sits much better over the petticoat on the so there's that one. And then there was two more things. I shall show you one for me first, and then the one I'm really pleased with. 2 secs, be right back. The final UFO was the Sew Over It tulip skirt, and all I needed to do was put in the zip, finish the waistband, finish the back seam and hem it. So I've done that. Let me show you. It's made out of the black luxury crepe from Sew Over It, and yeah, I like it. I think it's just a little bit out of my comfort zone because I'm so used to big full skirts, and I do love pencil skirts. I just can never ever get them to fit me because of the difference between my waist and my butt. So yeah, I thought this would be an interesting experiment, and it has been, and I do like it. Not sure if I will make any more, but we will see. So my final UFO for the month of June is my best friend's quilt. It's finished. And if you read my blog, you will know this already, as there is a blog post up on it. And as I keep threatening, I'm going to put up a making of video, but it's proving an absolute bugger to edit. There is so many clips. But yeah, here we go. This thing is finally done. And I love it. I'm so pleased with it. It came out exactly like I imagined. Let me show you the bottom. Again, try not to get red lipstick on it. I'm so happy with this. It was definitely a labour of love. But I've shown it to my best friend. She's seen pictures of this the whole way along. Shown it to her, and she really likes it. So yeah. Oh yeah, I need to show you the back because that's nearly as cool as the front. So yeah, that's the back. So yeah, it's done. It's finished. It's so exciting. I can't wait for her to actually see it in person. So when I say it's finished, it is. The only thing it needs is its label, which I will be doing on my embroidery unit as soon as I can get that out and get that done this week. That is on my mammoth list of things to do this week. But yeah, I cannot wait for her to see this in real life, and I will promise to put some in situ photos up as well. So yeah, the quilt is finished. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye! I'm rambling! Rabbit, 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 rabbit. I don't even remember what I started with. That was going so well. Buttons. Metal. Lipstick. Let's not fall over. Lipstick. This is the mic. Why am I waffling? And I have used bias binding. Oh, am I flashing? No, don't think so. God, I'm full of shit. There's no room. I'm really rambling. Got the oh fucking cheesy. I feel like a brain in this outfit. I'll put my glasses back on. Oh, I'm such an idiot. You're getting that light in the way.